Today we're going to look at a pair of ultra compacts, the Bugaboo Butterfly and the Nuna TRVL, both of which are recently released models from popular manufacturers, which I have at this point seen quite often painted as providing relatively equal quality and performance, a determination that, after going over both models myself, I thoroughly disagree with. And in order to explain my reasoning, I'm going to discuss each model in turn, examining their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, longevity, and driving characteristics, and ending with an argument for why I feel one of them makes for a significantly better purchase over the other. And starting off with the Butterfly then, the model clocks in at 7.3 kilos and folds down to 45 by 23 by 54 centimeters, which is within the IATA guidelines for cabin luggage. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and a higher than average 8 kilos in its underslung shopping basket. As far as the seat and child comfort are concerned, the dimensions of the Butterfly seat are one of the model's best features, with a width of 34 centimeters and a total length of 121, which includes a much longer than average backboard, extending the amount of time that a child will have head support, which is particularly important in the reclined position, as well as a longer and sturdier than average adjustable leg rest. Looking at other qualities with the seat, the Butterfly doesn't have a full recline, though the reclined position is still quite sufficient for comfortable napping, and the canopy provides decent sun coverage even without unzipping the extension. In terms of parent comfort, the Butterfly's handle stands at a decently tall 103 centimeters, while the shopping basket is a bit larger, sturdier, and more accessible than average. Folding the model is quite easy in terms of the steps involved, though for some people, perhaps used to more weakly constructed ultra compacts, the process may feel a bit heavier than usual on the hands, both in terms of depressing the buttons as well as the actual folding, which is simply the result of using a bit stronger materials and a reinforced rigid symmetry in the overall chassis design. When it comes to carrying, the Butterfly's footrest doubles as a handle, and it also has a shoulder strap, though personally, I find the handle a more comfortable means of carrying the model as the strap's a bit short. Looking at overall durability, as I said with folding, the Butterfly has a strong, reinforced structure with good horizontal support and also has simple mechanisms internally, in terms both of the folding system itself as well as peripheral elements like the brake system, making for little risk of developing internal mechanical problems down the line. When it comes to driving, the Butterfly feels quite sturdy to use, not loose or rickety, though, while it does have some degree of suspension, the size of the front wheels, at 4.7 inches, means that the model will really only feel comfortable to use over smoother terrain. That being said though, within a smoother environment, the more durable than average build of the chassis makes it quite capable of tackling all-day, everyday use without any real risk of substantial loosening or wearing down too quickly. Okay. Moving on, the TRVL clocks in at a lighter 6.5 kilos while also folding down to a significantly larger 61 by 51.5 by 28 centimeters, which is too large to fit within the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage when thinking about air travel. It can carry the same 22 kilos in the seat, but its weaker shopping basket can only handle up to 4.5 kilos. Despite being larger overall, the TRVL has, in most ways, smaller seat dimensions than the Butterfly, not in terms of its equal width of 34 centimeters, but rather with its 13 centimeters shorter seat back, 3 centimeters shallower baseboard, 4 centimeters less length from the baseboard to the footrest, and 6 centimeters shorter and much more weakly built adjustable leg rest, which makes the model more limited than the Butterfly in terms of how long a younger toddler will be able to use that leg rest for maximizing comfort in the reclined position. In addition to these differences, the TRVL's canopy also sits a lot higher off the backboard, is not extendable, and may provide insufficient sun coverage as a result, especially for smaller children. And really then, the only advantage that I actually see with the TRVL's seat over the Butterfly's is that it offers a deeper recline, though practical use of this characteristic is, in large part, ruined by the model's inferior leg rest. In terms of parent comfort, the TRVL's handle has an equivalent height of 103 centimeters, but its shopping basket, while also decently accessible, lacks the reinforcement of that on the Butterfly. When it comes to folding, the TRVL is definitely more comfortable to fold due to its fancy auto-folding system, at least right out of the box, since wear is likely to affect functioning here, and the model can be easily carried by the bumper bar. Like the Butterfly, the TRVL also has a shoulder strap, but it's similarly too short to be usable in my opinion. As far as how the TRVL feels to use, the chassis feels a lot weaker than the Butterfly's, bending and straining during tipping and steering, and feeling just generally less sturdy than it ought to for the model's size. Durability-wise, the TRVL is generally less reinforced than the Butterfly, with its major Achilles heel being a pair of hinged mechanisms on the handle arms that are very susceptible to wear in my opinion, due both to their exposed wires and the fact that they consist almost entirely of plastic components. In addition, the TRVL also has far more internal complexity involved overall in its folding system, a few additional mechanisms such as those for adjusting the leg rest and the brake system that are designed in a manner more likely to cause problems in the long run. And lastly, with its larger size and lower weight, less resources have been invested in cross support and the model's connection points, meaning more chance for loosening and symmetry problems, and also making the model less capable of holding up to the same sort of daily use as the Butterfly without running into problems in the long run. All that being said, I would note that the TRVL has both better suspension and bigger wheels than the Butterfly. So in a one-on-one comparison over a stretch of broken sidewalk, it will provide more shock absorption and be able to negotiate the uneven ground better, though regular use in such environments would also, of course, only accelerate wear to the model's overall structure. So, which of these is the better purchase then? It's probably clear by now that despite a few advantages that the TRVL has over the Butterfly, in its deeper recline, easier fold, and better terrain capability, my preference still lies solidly with the Butterfly, due to its better seat and basket, its smaller IATA acceptable fold, and most importantly, the fact that it's simply much stronger and simpler in design overall. To me, it's also honestly a bit hard to place how I would want to use the TRVL, since both its size and weakness make it far less than ideal for either travel or daily use, while the Butterfly on the other hand, being so strong for its size, with such good seat characteristics, and still folding down to within cabin luggage limits, is in my opinion, a bit of a revolution for ultra compacts in general, setting the bar higher than it's ever been before. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, or even hit the donate button if you're so inclined, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.